All right, welcome everybody. Today, I'd like to talk about the top 12 uses of urotherapy. And for those of you that are just joining me, my name is Dr. Edward Group. I've been teaching and helping people reactivate their body's own self-healing mechanism. My mission has really been to help as many people as I possibly can over the last 25 years. And this is a fairly new topic that I introduced probably a few months ago. We're getting overwhelming responses, positive responses, but it's a very controversial issue. I decided to talk about this because I feel that now is the time that people should get the truth. People should get the answers out there to all of their health conditions. I've been really big on trying to teach the root cause of disease, meaning the toxins in your external environment and the toxins in your internal environment. I mean, the simplicity of why people are suffering from mental conditions in this chaotic world that we're living in right now. But at the same time, it's a beautiful world because we're going through the Great Awakening and people are starting to wake up and understand now what we've been screaming from the rooftops for over 25 years, that there's a certain group of people that are trying to poison the air and poison the water and poison the food and create this sickness and disease among us. And ultimately, my studies over 25 years have led me into realizing that some of the most powerful healing agents are free. They're given to us from God. Breathing clean air, drinking clean water, meditating, praying, sleeping, disassociating yourself from the chaos, bringing yourself in, mindfulness, working on yourself, believing in yourself, incorporating self-confidence, love and peace and joy into your life, incorporating balance into your life. And some of the things that I've looked at, for example, using the sun to heal you or using your own body to heal you, is probably the most powerful thing that I've ever come across in my entire career. And at the same time, I've been challenged. It's been challenging over the last 11 months or so to really have for me, it's not about having the courage, but everybody else says, I can't believe you actually have the courage to come out and speak about this topic. But I personally have always been the kind of person that I care about everybody else first and care about, giving them the solutions and the answers so they can create positive change in their life and the confidence that they can heal themselves of any condition. And they can, and they do. You, everyone, we all have the power within us to be able to maintain perfect health. And the topic I'm going to talk about today is urotherapy. It's a topic that I've been talking about recently. And what urotherapy is using your urine as medicine, using what comes out of you. It's called the golden nectar. It's been used for ages and ages and ages. I am just bringing it out to the public, like many other people have actually in the past. It's not something new. It's something that's been used from the beginning of time. It's something that's extremely effective. As a matter of fact, I was using it 25 years ago, and many cancer doctors, alternative cancer doctors, alternative practitioners all over the world have used this successfully because there's no better perfect medicine coming out or anywhere on the outside than what comes out of you and what's created in your internal laboratory. And there's books written on it. As a matter of fact, here's one right here. It's called Your Own Perfect Medicine, which is the first book that I was ever introduced to 25 years ago. So today, what I'd like to do is cover the top. There's many, many uses for urotherapy, but I'd like to cover the top 12 uses today because I've been getting lots of questions like, so what are the benefits of this? What are, how can I use this? What's the most effective way to use urine therapy? So I wanted to do a video today to talk about exactly that. Hopefully will answer a lot of questions and give you the top 12 uses that you can implement immediately. You know, with using urotherapy, it's your body, your intuition, it shouldn't be that difficult. It's, you know, we're led to believe that everything has to be so difficult. Like we have to study manuals for 20 years to become a good doctor, or, you know, study all this information. But in reality, one of the things that I've learned over my 25 years of studying spirituality, studying the body, studying natural medicine, studying all different types of healing modalities is everything keeps coming back to simplicity. It's not that hard to heal your system. However, you have to also address the root cause of why you might have the condition or the suffering that you might have. If you are suffering from depression, anxiety, any type of mental conditions, well, guess what? It's your environment that's causing it. It's your external environment. Turn off social media, turn off the news, turn off all that stuff. Stop hanging around people that are bringing you down, that are depressing you. Start focusing more on self. See, that's another thing that I've noticed over the years is everybody spends so much time focusing on things outside of themselves. If they get sick, they focus on going to a doctor, going to a hospital. You have the power to heal anything within your system. You just have to understand why you have the condition, which is too many chemicals and toxins in your external environment and your internal environment. And then you have to detoxify your system on a regular basis. You have to cleanse your life, cleanse your body, cleanse your environment. It's all about detoxification. It's all about cleansing. All right. So just a quick overview. This is something that my research team and myself, we've started a website, and because of the current status that's going on all over the world, people are going up and down in sickness and need help, and maybe some of them don't need money. I mean, don't have any money to have access to physicians or hospitals. And this all dates back to my work that was happening during the pandemic. And I was one of the doctors that was on the COVID task force and the pandemic task force. And our job was to evaluate the frontline doctors from all over the world and find out what is working to help restore the body's health. I have to be careful about what I say here because I know this is a YouTube video and I definitely don't want this video taken down. That's a whole nother issue, that we're being censored everywhere. The truth is being censored everywhere. But if you're watching this, you probably know that already. So one of the interesting things for me that happened as when I was on this research team is we were the ones that were bringing everybody the information on vitamin D, on zinc, on vitamin C, on ozone, on iodine. As a matter of fact, we were submitting all of these papers to the government. But we knew that very early on that they weren't going to accept anything natural, or even natural immunity, building your own immunity up instead of, you know, utilizing man-made substances instead of nature-made or God-made substances, which are always going to overpower anything made by man, okay? Anything that's synthetic or made by man. So one of the things that really stood out to me was, and I was the only one with my research team that ended up taking on this project, was the fact that in India, they were using urotherapy. And there's been many different clinics in India over the years that have used urotherapy. And that's just using your own urine. And so I spent 11 months with my research team really digging in deep to what is this all about? Let me look into it. And what I found is this has been used for a very long period of time. It's been known to, not been known to, but even been proven by multiple physicians multiple practitioners all over the world, dating back thousands of years, to restore your self-healing mechanism, to be able to ward off any type of conditions, cancer, diabetes. I mean, amazing. It even neutralizes poisonous snake bites. People can get bit by a black mamba and drink their own urine and put their urine compress over the site and survive. The body is that incredible. It actually creates antibodies, anti-venom. And if you drink it, it will, neutralize the venom. And that's been years, been used for years, but it's also been suppressed. Some of the most powerful healing modalities that I've ever found have been suppressed. When you look at Royal Raymond Rife's technology and you look at all these technologies over the years, water-only fasting, urine-only fasting, touch therapy, and, we are energy, we are vibration. Anything, how healing basically works is it's all energy and vibration. So I was fascinated, to say the least. Even though I had known about this, even though I dabbled in it, I've never really spent the time to dig in deep for 11 months and find and do as much possible research as I can. And I'm still doing research and gathering evidence and making connections with practitioners that have been doing this for 20-something years. And now I feel like it's time to bring this information out to the public. I feel like it's time that everybody has, whether you do it or not, it doesn't matter, but at least you'll know and you'll have evidence that this is something that can change your life. This is something that can be used as part of anything that you're doing naturally at the same time to enhance all of the benefits. Sometimes it's really hard to be able to tune in to what really is causing your negative health condition. But with this, you don't even have to worry about that. So some people say, well, how come nobody's talking about this? How come my doctor's not talking about this? How come my naturopath is not talking about this? Well, I can tell you that a good percentage of pharmaceuticals and products created, over-the-counter skincare products, personal care products, pharmaceuticals that you might be taking, contain one or more derivatives of either horse urine or human urine. So it's not like it's not being used. It is being used because there's over 3,000 or 4,000 components in urine. And it's highly effective. So, but they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know the truth. So it works on, I really haven't found anything that it doesn't work on because, like I said, it's your body producing exactly what you need to heal itself. So it's a practice that every single person can use. And I'm going to go into the different ways that you can use it effectively right now. Okay, but first I'd like to clear up one of the biggest misconceptions out there is that urine is a waste product. That's what we've been told. And really what I've found in the last 11 months is that really only in the United States do people think this is some taboo type of therapy. Most of the people, if you talk to your grandmother, if you're outside of the United States, if you have relatives in India, Russia, South America, any of the Asian countries, you'll find that a lot of the grandparents or great-grandparents knew about this and they've either used it or they've known somebody else that's used it. So it's just been heavily suppressed over the last 100 years, I would say. Even in the United States, between the 1800s and 1950, 1960, there were practitioners, urologists, urotherapists all over the country that were practicing this. And unfortunately, they were shut down. And a lot of times when you're going through a phase, a de-evolution phase of kind of what we've been seeing, where you have man and so-called science start dictating what is good for you and what's not good for you, and start genetically modifying nature and start using making synthetic products from nature, and you get away from God's pure energy and vibration, and you start creating man-made things, that's when you start seeing kind of a destruction start to happen. But if you look at the components in urine, you're going to have a multitude of things. I mean, so I put some of them on here, like proteins, antibodies. Think about it. If you get sick or if you get exposed to something in the air, what happens inside your system? Inside your system, you create antibodies. Well, guess where those antibodies go? They end up going out through your urine. So that's why it's so powerful, especially if you get sick, to be able to drink your own urine or use your own urine through some of the methods we'll talk about today, to be able to get those antibodies back inside your system. Being able to alkalize. To see, urine is nothing more than your blood filtered. It's your blood extra filtered is what it is. And some people say, we have this perception that it's, oh, that's so gross, and oh, that smells. But in reality, it is pure. It is sterile. It doesn't smell when it first comes out unless you're very, very toxic. And it contains all of the things that your body needs to actually balance itself out. Serotonin, enzymes, hormones. Think about how many people have issues with their hormones being out of whack because of all the plasticizers and because of all the endocrine disrupting chemicals that we're exposed to. I can't tell you how many women, especially that I've worked with over the years, that are 30 years old plus, and it is almost impossible to balance out a woman's hormone levels over 30 or 40. And, any hormone replacement doctor will tell you the same thing. Well, you have the perfect ratio of hormones that you need to balance out your hormones that are coming out in your urine every single day. And men too, men start losing their hormones from age 28 on. Their DHEA levels start going down, their testosterone levels start going down, their virility starts going down. So actually for men, it's incredible because it brings back that vitality and it helps bring back that growth hormone, that testosterone, and any deficient minerals or vitamins that you may be deficient in as well. It's pretty much, if you were to, you can either guess at what you need to take, the vitamins and minerals you need to take every single day, or you would have the perfect mix of the vitamins and minerals that you need every single day that's coming out through your urine. We just need to get over that mental brainwashing that's been, put into our heads. I mean, I love the fact that more and more people are becoming open-minded to things, and more people are actually waking up. This, like I said, this is the Great Awakening. It's beautiful what's happening. So I think this is like the perfect timing to come out with this information because it is so powerful and it can change your life almost instantaneously. But in general, you want to take the first 90 days, if you're going to be using any of these therapies that we talk about today, the first 90 days is always going to be your cleansing and detoxification phase. The second 90 days is going to be your recovery phase. And the 90 days plus after that is always going to be kind of your regeneration phase. And you can continue with your supplements, your exercise program, detoxifying your body on a regular basis, everything that you're doing. Except I would, really try to reduce any type of pharmaceuticals that you may be on over a period of time. Check with your natural practitioner about that. Let them know what you're doing. I'm not making any medical claims here. Anything that I'm saying is not intended to treat, cure, or diagnose any disease, anything like that. Just sharing information and research that I've been doing for the last 12 months to be able to help anybody that might need help or that might want to start repairing and regenerating their body and reactivating their body's own self-healing mechanism. Okay. So there's two main applications that we're going to talk about, and these are the top 12 uses. One is internal ways, and the other is going to be external ways. So you can use urotherapy internally for any type of condition. It doesn't matter, you know, headaches, migraines, arthritis. The benefits are, you know, people are always asking me, so what are the benefits? The benefits are everything. It just depends on when your body decides and how your body decides and what your body decides to work on first. You know, it might have taken you 30 or 40 years to be in the condition that you're in now. Most of the people that I consult with, I mean, you know, when they come to me or when they have come to me in the past, you know, they're usually over 40, you know, 40 or 50, and they've, you know, abused their bodies. They've eaten bad food. They've never done a detoxification in their entire life. They've never done an intestinal cleanse. They've never done a liver and gallbladder cleanse. They've never done a parasite cleanse. They've never done a chemical and heavy metal cleanse. They've literally never cleaned the inside of their bodies in their entire life. So instead of me saying, you know, yes, we can heal you, your body is willing to heal, or you can heal yourself, because the true definition of a doctor is a teacher, not a prescriber. And it's my job to teach you how to reactivate your own body's self-healing mechanism, how to heal yourself. But it's, you know, we can do that, but it's going to take another 40 years, you know. Well, of course, what would they say? They would say, you know, that's just not possible. Now, the beautiful thing about when you give your body the opportunity to heal itself, it really wants to heal fast. That means avoiding all of the toxins in your external and internal, and, you know, putting toxins into your system and giving your body the high vibrational things, detoxifying the body so it can actually activate and heal itself. Now, you can also use it externally for different types of skin conditions, hair loss, wound healing, sterilization, many different, I mean, anything that pops up on your skin, you can also use it externally. So the number one method used around the world when you're talking about urotherapy is drinking your own urine. What are the benefits of drinking your own urine? Well, you get full body detoxification over a period of time, full body cleansing. It helps reduce the amount of we all develop cancer cells every single day. It helps repair your DNA, your RNA. We're dealing right now on the planet with a massive, number one thing that I'm seeing here right now is blood clotting. People are having pulmonary issues. They're having blood clotting issues. They're having enhanced cancer. Okay. Not going into details. I'm sure you can read between the lines on that of why so many different illnesses and diseases are all of a sudden popping up right now. So what does urotherapy do? Urotherapy has urokinase in it. Urokinase is the number one thing in the world used to dissolve blood clots. Anybody that might be having strokes, or you might know some people that might be having blood clotting issues right now. If you go to drugs.com and you type in urokinase, you're going to see it's a clot busting drug. It's one of the best things, and it's for free. You can get it free in your urine. So great for cardiovascular, great to dissolve blood clots, great for heart health. It's been used very successfully for immune deficiency syndromes, which that's another thing that we're seeing. It's been used incredibly well for autoimmune issues. Most people are having positive D-dimer tests right now. Most people are testing positive for autoimmune conditions right now. So we have a lot of health conditions going on in the world right now. So people are in dire need of things they can do for free that can help alter, help repair, help people recover from whatever they're suffering from. Digestion, constipation, parasites, kidneys, I mean, every single organ, the benefits of drinking urotherapy, when you drink it, it goes into your system, it goes into your blood, it goes through every tissue, every cell, every organ, and brings that vibrational healing energy of health back into your system and corrects deficiencies and helps you cleanse, helps you detoxify, helps you regenerate, helps you repair. Extremely beneficial for allergies, asthma, respiratory issues also. So what is the best way to start if you're drinking your own urine? The most popular way is to start always with your first morning urine. Your first morning urine is the most powerful. It's the most vibrational because when you're sleeping at night, your body is healing. It's producing whatever you need to repair and regenerate. There are a massive amount of stem cells in your own urine, live stem cells, which are incredible for regenerating your organs. As a matter of fact, if you're thinking right now, there's no way I will ever drink my own urine, I have to say that you have already drank urine before. See, in the womb, up to the first 3 or 4 months until your kidneys are developed, you're drinking your mother's urine. That's what fills the amniotic, that's what the amniotic fluid is, mostly urine. When your kidneys develop, that's what you're doing. You're drinking urine for the remainder of your life. That's all you live on for the first 9.5 months of when you're in the womb, in your mother's womb. That's all you're doing is drinking, and you're bathing, you're soaking in urine. Why do you think baby's skin is so soft? The most expensive skincare products in the world contain urea in them. You don't even need to spend that money. Just put your, morning urine on your face, which we're going to talk about later. But drinking it is a very popular method and a very effective method. So what you're going to do is in the morning, first morning urine is considered between 3 a.m. and around, and the first time that you urinate in the morning, whatever time you wake up. That's the highest potency. That's the most concentrated. And what you want to do is you want to pee for a few seconds, 1, 2, 3, and then catch the midstream urine. Once you catch the midstream urine, and then leave enough room so you can pee another 3 or 4 seconds out after that. And then you can start with either a drop. Some people start with a drop. Most people start with about 3 ounces to get going. So that's usually about a good start. There is no limit to how much you can use. There are urotherapy practitioners that are drinking all of their urine all day long. And even when they wake up at night, they still drink that. Now, personally, I've been drinking about a half a gallon a day for roughly about 4 months. And using for the most part, most of these methods that I'm going to be talking about today. Now, if it's too potent, if it's too salty, if it smells, that's a sign that your body needs to go through a detoxification. So I would recommend that you do multiple liver and gallbladder cleanses, do a colon cleanse, do a parasite cleanse, do a chemical and heavy metal cleanse. However, you can do it at the same time that you're drinking your own urine. You can also mix it in smoothies. You can mix it in juice, fresh squeezed organic juice, herbal tea. You can mix it in with water to dilute it. There's really no hard or fast rules about the best way to do it or how to do it. You can just drink it however you see fit and mix it into whatever you might want to mix it in with. I've only had a couple cases where someone was so turned off by it that they just got nauseous thinking about it. And what they did was they just put 1 drop under their tongue. They just started putting 1 drop under their tongue. And then after a week or after a few days, they put 2 drops. And then after a few more days, they put 3 drops, and then 4 drops, and then 5 drops. And now after, a period of, a month or a few weeks, they're up to 1 ounce to 2 ounces to 3 ounces. So basically your body will get used to it, and your body loves it, and your body will want it because you will start noticing the effects of it and how powerful it is, especially when it comes to energy. But just know that for the first 3 months, and especially for the first couple of weeks, your body really wants to heal. So you might be going through some detoxification, Herxheimer reactions. You might have some skin rashes. Skin is your detoxification organ, your largest detoxification organ. So when you start pushing, you start drinking your own urine, you start pushing all these chemicals and toxins out, they end up coming out through your skin. And then even as you cycle it through, they'll start coming out through your bowel movement again as well. We'll talk about storing it, any extra, because some people do store their urine. It's called evolved urine because urine will evolve over time. It becomes more powerful and more powerful. But for this topic of conversation, we'll just talk about your fresh first morning urine, drinking it. Moving on to the number 2 way to utilize it, and that's massage. Your skin, again, is your largest organ, and your skin needs to be detoxified as well. So usually what people do is they'll catch their first morning urine midstream, they'll drink a little bit of it, or they'll drink most of it, and they'll save a small amount of it to use for massage, to use for drops in the eyes, and use for all these other uses that we're going to be talking about. You can use, you can massage the urine into your skin, all through your face, all through your whole body. It's great to do that because it's invigorating. It really wakes you up, and it really invigorates you in the morning whenever you rub it on. And it will not smell either because your skin will absorb it all if it's fresh, and it'll go right into your bloodstream. And it's a great moisturizer for the skin, actually. Your skin will feel incredible if you do that. You can massage it into your hair and your scalp. Let's say you go and you collect some in the morning, then you go take a shower, you wash your hair with your organic shampoo, and then you rinse all of that out. Then you can take and massage some of your fresh morning urine into your hair, into your scalp, massage it in there, and just leave it in. It'll be fine. And then you do that the next morning, you rinse it out again. Some people leave it in for 30 minutes, then they wash it out. I recommend leaving it in for at least a day, just letting it dry naturally, and then washing it out the following day. You can massage it into any area, like if you have knee pain or wrist pain or carpal tunnel, or if you have back pain or something like that, any type of pain or inflammation on your body, you can massage it in. Just keep massaging it in and massaging it in. It works incredibly well for that. So that's your fresh urine. Now, for most of the skin conditions, like if you have chronic skin conditions like psoriasis, eczema, anything that has just been rashes, anything that's been bothering you for quite some time, most of the research will say to use aged, or like Brother Sage says, evolved. I like evolved a lot better than aged urine. Aged means it gets older and it's not as vital, but evolved means it gets stronger with age, and that's what happens. So what people do is they'll take a mason jar and they'll just collect their urine, and you put a cheesecloth over the top of it, or a piece of wool, or 100% cotton, put a rubber band around it, and then sit it in a windowsill somewhere so it can get the sun hitting it, which is called solar charging. And then the moon, the rays of the moon, that kind of charges it. And so the minimum amount is 9 days. So let it sit for 9 days. And what happens is it actually starts to ferment and become stronger and stronger and stronger. So most people that have sores or wounds or warts or burns, infections, any type of skin condition like that, the aged or the evolved urine works better, a lot better actually, on those skin conditions. Even acne, you can use fresh urine every single day, but for the evolved urine will most of the time be more potent, and it'll work better for those conditions. And you can even use the evolved urine for hair loss. You can use it for dandruff. Funny thing is, I did a video about 20 years ago on YouTube. It was one of my first YouTube videos I ever did. And it was about putting urine on your scalp to grow your hair back. And I was heavily criticized for it. All the TV shows made fun of me. And about a month later, all the comments started coming in on YouTube. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. My hair's actually growing back. Oh, my hair's growing back. My hair's growing back. It's an ancient remedy. It's an ancient remedy for hair loss, and it will, if you stick with it, your hair will continue to grow back. And one thing I've personally noticed is I sprained my ankle really, really bad, probably maybe even broke it, but I never go to the hospital and do x-rays or anything like that because I don't want to be in the system. My ankle swelled up like this. I mean, I was playing tennis and jumped up in the air and came down, and my whole ankle went sideways. I mean, all my weight came down on it, and I just heard it, pow. And I just knew at that point in time, my ankle was severely injured. And sure enough, I went in, I wet a piece of a cotton shirt I had and wrapped it around my ankle, and it took the pain away almost instantaneously. My ankle did end up swelling up like the size of a grapefruit, but I kept wrapping it with urine-soaked bandages and kept soaking it in urine. And the pain was, I literally had no pain, and I was walking again in 3 days. I had back pain. I tweaked my back one day, lifting something the wrong way. And I immediately, next time I went into the bathroom, collected some of my urine, massaged it into my back. Within 10 minutes, my back pain was completely gone, and I never had it again. So, I mean, I've personally witnessed, some miraculous things with it. So massaging it, you can do, anything you want as far as massaging is concerned. Most people that practice urotherapy, they do everything. So basically in the morning, they'll get their first morning urine, they'll drink some of it, they'll massage it into their skin, they'll put some drops in their eyes, they might put a drop in each ear, and they'll put a little bit in their belly button, and they'll just use it and then snort some up their nose into their sinuses to clear everything out. They'll use it for most of the things that we're going to be talking about today. So that's massage. Number 3, enemas. So many of the urotherapy practitioners practice enemas. I personally haven't tried doing enema with urine yet, just because I just do everything else with it. It's just easier. But it is highly recommended because the intestines will absorb it. I know that a lot of the practitioners that I talk to do this on a regular basis, maybe like once a week, once every couple of weeks, maybe even once a month. But basically, the best way to do it is to do it about 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep. You collect about 9 ounces of your urine. You can use evolved urine for this. You can use fresh urine for this. It doesn't matter. You can get little enema kits. Do the enema, let it sit inside your body for a while until you naturally feel you're ready to release it. You can massage your abdomen a little bit. You can lay down on your right side with your knees up and just have that inside. It's another way if you don't want to drink it too, okay? For the people that don't want to drink it, they can do enemas with it, and they can also do massage with it, and they can do all this other stuff with it as well. You can also massage the abdomen, and I would even massage the abdomen with a little bit of the urine as well. And so what this does, the enemas, it helps with digestion. It does help with a little bit of the liver purging. By the way, you can actually do mix urine in with your coffee enemas as well. Just make sure you're using organic coffee, fungus-free, mold-free coffee. You're going to get a really good boost to the immune system. It's going to help with acne going straight into the blood. It's also going to help with insomnia. If you're really having a hard time sleeping, do this about 2 hours before you go to bed. You'll notice a big difference. You'll sleep like a baby. And it also helps reduce the risk of any type of colon cancer, and it's very healthy for the prostate gland as well. So that's enemas. Number 4, eye drops. So this is another effective way. I've been doing this every single day. It seems like my eyesight is getting a little bit better. Of course, I had radial keratotomy done when I was in my 20s, I think, and it was even before the LASIKs with the lasers, where they actually slit my eye with a scalpel multiple times. So they told me that I was going to have issues with my eyesight later on in life. However, I didn't have to start wearing reading glasses until I was over 50, which was pretty good. But it's funny how you've heard of this brand before, Murine Tears, but hey, what does that spell if you take the M off of that? Because like I said, these components in urine have been used by big companies because they're so effective. So some of the things that urotherapy, the using it in your eyes will work for, helping repair the eyes, because a lot of times when your eyes start going downhill, it's because of the toxins again. It's because of the small capillaries that you have in your eyes. The rods and the cones in your eyes. You have rods and cones in three eyes in your body. You have your two eyes right here, and then you have your pineal gland, which is your other eye, which is in. That's why, all the spiritual texts say the kingdom of heaven is within. But cataracts, improving eyesight, conjunctivitis, pink eye, any type of eye irritation, burning eyes, itching eyes, amazing. And you can collect your urine any time of the day to use for eye drops. It doesn't necessarily have to be the first morning urine. For that matter, you can drink your urine any time of the day. It's just the most powerful one. You can massage urine any time of the day. The most powerful one, the most concentrated one is in the morning, but that doesn't mean that you cannot use it throughout the day and use all of it and collect all of it, especially if you want to collect it to let it evolve for 9 days. Some people have been using urine that's been evolving for 9 months. They've just sat in a windowsill for 9 months. It's called solar charging it. But just get a clean dropper, put it in your eye, or an eye cup. There's eye cups. You can fill it in there, turn it upside down, and just look at it and let that urine get all up in through around your eye. You can always dilute it with distilled water if it might be too salty or too pungent. And you can do a few drops at a time, 3 drops. You can even wait a minute, do another 3 drops, wait a minute, do another 3 drops, whatever your intuition tells you, whatever feels best for you. Okay, this is ear care. Anybody who's been swimming, any type of ear infections, tinnitus, deafness, wax removal, headache sometimes is caused by situations in your ear, lymphatic and sinus drainage. You see on here too, you have Murine ear. Well, they knew, the company Murine, that urine works for ears and it works for eyes. So they came out with basically the same formula and just labeled it for ear care and eye care. But you can do the same thing. You can use fresh, you can use evolved urine, just put a couple droppers, just a couple drops in your ear, massage it a little bit like that. You can lay on your side for a few minutes, turn over to the other side, a couple drops, massage it into your ear, let it sit there for a while, then turn back over. It's easier to just do the drops, but some people, soak cotton balls, they put it in their ear, they leave it there for about an hour. Okay, so that's for the ears. Now, belly button. This is an ancient method, and really, in Brother Sage's book, which I have right here, he talks about it as well, because the belly button is a very, very important healing modality. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about people using essential oils in the belly button, massaging inside the belly button, because it has over 70,000 vein endings, nerve endings, blood vessels. That's where you were connected originally. So what you can do, and this looking at the research, actually works good for obesity, works good for weight loss. For some reason, it kind of takes away the hunger. If you're trying to eat less, you can put a couple drops in your belly button and kind of massage it in there. It keeps your belly button clean, helps with digestive issues. It really helps with stress, depression, dizziness. And all you're doing is just putting a couple drops of either fresh or evolved urine inside your belly button. You can also kind of rub it around your abdomen a little bit. And I know that there's been also some women that I've talked to that they use it on the back of their thighs and their hips as well. And they say it works really good for cellulite. So anyway, you can try that out. That's another way to use it. I mean, just all of these uses, I would just use all of them. I mean, it only takes like a few minutes in the morning to do this. And then you have the urine pulling, which is the oral use. And I'm sure everybody that's been watching me over the years has known that I do like the teeth and the gums in your mouth is very important. All of your teeth are associated with every organ in your body. That's why I've been a really big proponent about getting mercury fillings and amalgams out of your mouth, because they off gas into your brain. They're very damaging. I've been working with biological dentists for quite some time about utilizing natural ways to regenerate the mouth, the teeth, the gums. With the standard American diet that we have, that is high in fat, high in sugar, high in table salt, pesticides, insecticides, everything else, people eating out at fast food restaurants, your mouth will always tell you how healthy you are. So people do oil pulling with coconut oil, just holding it in their mouth for a while, 3 to 5 minutes, and then spitting it out because it pulls all those toxins out through your mouth. However, you can use urine pulling as well. Just gargle with it, swish it in your mouth, hold it in your mouth for about 3 minutes. Then you can swallow it or you can spit it out. It doesn't matter. And it works amazing, actually, for any type of toothache, for any pains, gum conditions, receding gums, periodontal disease, any type of dental surgery that you might have done or dental work that you might have done, candidiasis in the mouth, cavities even. One of the things I've always been suffering with to a certain degree is periodontal issues, because I've had that in my family for a long time. Both my mom and my dad. My mom, even when she was in her 40s, had to get bone taken from her hip and had a reconstruction of her jaw. And so since I've been doing the urine pulling, and I went back to the dentist not too long ago, they were completely surprised. They said they've never seen this before. My gums actually grew 1 millimeter. And that usually is something that keeps decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. So they were just they said they've never seen that before, because I've had receding gums, that somebody could regrow the gums. I had no cavities. By the way, it also whitens your teeth and strengthens your teeth too. So you can try that as well, and you'll get some good results with that. All right, number 8, nasal decongestion. Most office buildings are toxic. Most homes are toxic because of all the VOCs and the air fresheners and the chemicals that they use. So we're constantly having, asthma, allergies, sinus infections, all these different things, right? But this is amazing. You can use this as a nasal decongestion. What you can do is just pour a small amount in your hand like this, right? Cup your hand and then just put it right over your nose and sniff it up, and it goes right back down and hits your pineal gland, and it cleans out all your sinuses, and it goes up into your brain. So you just like that, and just goes everywhere, and it's amazing. It actually gives you a really good energy. Or what you can do is take one of those nasal congestant bottles, with the tip on it that you squeeze and that mist comes out. Take the top off, clean it out really, really good, hydrogen peroxide and water. And then you can pour some of your urine in there and then put the top back on. Then you can literally squeeze it in each nostril, and it goes up in there and works as a decongestion. Then you can put your head upside down, just let it sit there for a minute, just kind of get it everywhere in there. It'll go down your throat, and it'll help clear out your pineal gland. May burn a little bit, but that's okay. And that's an amazing way to start your day. It really helps with detoxifying all this junk in your head. It's been shown to help with dizziness, with vertigo, with fever. Many of the old texts, ancient documents, they would use it for spiritual progression, opening up your third eye, being able to, enhance your meditations. I've definitely seen an enhancement and my meditations happen, which I'm super excited about. So like I said, I've only been doing this religiously for about 4 months or so, maybe a little over 4 months. And I've seen amazing benefits in all aspects of my life. So I do this as well in the morning. Okay, number 9 benefits, or at least methods for using the urotherapy, is foot soaks. If you're going in and you're having somebody scrape all the dead tissue from your feet, or your feet are cracking, your heels are cracking, anything like that, do a foot soak. This is amazing. Just as you collect it, during the day, do about 2 or 3 quarts in a tub that's large enough for both of your feet to sit in. You can warm the water if you want, or warm the urine a little bit. You can add a little bit of warm water. Doesn't really matter. Soak your feet in there for 30 minutes. Your feet will be so soft, and all that dead skin will come off, and you will get the healing ability of it too. From the reflexology points, you'll get the absorbed into your system. The feet are also connected to all your bodily organs, and it'll create a full body detox. Like I said, it's amazing for ankle injuries, foot injuries. If you've ever had any fractured bones in your feet, if your feet are sore, if you have arthritis in your feet, if your feet crack a lot when you walk, the bones crack, or just if you're flat-footed, or if you have cracked heels or anything like that, or if you have toenail fungus. If you have toenail fungus on your feet, if you soak your feet every single day for probably around 30 days or so, your toenail fungus will start to, because urine is a natural antimicrobial. I put cuts, stings, and bites on here too, because probably everybody watching this has heard somebody say, if you get stung by a jellyfish, pee on it. Well, that's true. If you get bit by a bee, or if you get stung by a spider or a wasp or a jellyfish or anything poisonous, one of the best things you can do is to soak a cotton ball in your own urine, place it over the bite, put a bandage over it, and just leave it there. Pain will go away. The venom will be neutralized. Best if you drink a little bit of it too. I was talking to a lady not too long ago who was very highly allergic to bee stings. She would have 2 other times she got stung by a bee, she almost died. She went into anaphylactic shock and went to the hospital, barely made it. This time she got stung by a bee, and she was with somebody who's a natural healer, and he immediately told her to drink her own urine and put urine over the bee bite. And miraculously, she didn't even have a reaction at all. She didn't even go into anaphylactic shock. And the same thing works with allergies. They say, well, if you eat this food, you might go into anaphylactic shock, and this could actually save your life. And even if you didn't have urine, or didn't need to go to the bathroom at that point in time, you can do a surrogate. So if someone's standing next to you, or someone's around you when it happens, their bodies will actually produce the antivenom and the bodies that you may need as well. So in actuality, you can, and in India and many other countries, you can actually drink other people's urine as well. Now, they drink cow urine in India. And basically, if anyone is watching this and you eat meat, you eat red meat, you are eating blood. You are eating the blood in the meat. And so if you filter that blood, you filter those red corpuscles out of there, it's urine, it's sterile. So it's not, most people out there are still eating meat every day or a couple times a week. Hopefully you're weaning yourself off of that. But if you're doing that, you can definitely do this. All right, number 10, full body bath, highly effective for covering the entire body. When you're in the bath, you can collect, you don't even need a gallon, but you can collect as much as you want. Hopefully, if you're taking a bath, now what I would recommend that you do is get a really good shower filter, or some sort of a filter for your bath water. And that way your water is going to be clean. You're not taking a bath in tap water. That's what you don't want to do. Take showers or baths in tap water. And or fill your bathtub up with your shower, because there's easy ways to get shower filters. out there that will remove a lot of the chemicals and toxins in the water, and you fill your bath water up with that. Your skin's your largest organ. You know, that's why instinctively we pee in the shower and instinctively we pee in the bathtub. You know, when people go in pools, they all just pee in the pool all the time. You have an instinctive way that happens in your system that just your body wants to pee in it because it wants to soak in it, because it feels like it did when you were a baby again, soaking and living in that amniotic fluid or in that urine, breathing it and having it all over your skin. So you can collect however much you want, put it in the bathtub, and just soak in it for 30 minutes. And that's really good for skin. It's really good to moisturize your skin. It's great for your heart. It's great for your mental health. Light some candles around, put on some really good healing music. Be with yourself. Be mindful in that area. Don't watch some negative stuff on TV or negative news. Spend that time healing yourself, saying some affirmations, soaking in a nice tub with some nice healing music, some solfeggio tones on there, so you can just take all that in. And it's really good for any type of, whenever you're sick, to do that as well. If you have any type of body infection, any type of disease, anything. So that's a really good way also to use this urotherapy. Now, number 11, I mean, we are seeing more and more pulmonary issues, lung issues. And I think, honestly, we'll continue to see that for quite some time. You know, considering the fact that most people have really struggled with wearing masks and what that does to the lung and breathing in all that extra carbon monoxide. So there's two different ways that I put on this slide. One is nebulizing it, which is breathing it in through a nebulizer. Now, a nebulizer is a device that will basically create a fine vapor. You can purchase a nebulizer on Amazon and you can fill it up with your own urine, and then you can just put the vapor, and some of them come with a mask. You can put the mask on and just breathe it up into your sinuses, breathe it into your lungs. It's amazing. You use the fresh urine for your nebulizer. You can do it up to 3 times a day. And what I usually do is do 9 breaths through the nose and then 9 through the mouth. And so you can do that. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can get an aromatherapy diffuser, kind of like what I have back here. You can see a little bit of it coming out. Now, that's not urine. I've got essential oils coming through there. But what it does is through your house, you can mix in essential oils with a little bit of your urine, and that will just run it for 2 to 6 hours, and it kind of cleans the air. It will help you with your respiratory detox, your respiratory cleansing. It might kill off any harmful organisms that are in the air. If you do have some sort of infection in your lungs, that may help. It definitely supports your sinuses, definitely supports the lungs. So that's nebulizing it is what you're going to be breathing in. Vaporizing it, which is basically the same thing, is through your aromatherapy diffuser, if you have one, that just goes and cleanses the air in your room. So do both of those. I mean, both of those can be highly effective, especially if you have a lot of congestion in your lungs, if you have a lot of coughing, sore throat, anything that's happening in your bronchial passageways, anything that might be happening in your lung fields. Having a nebulizer is amazing. What I'll do is I'll do urine nebulizing, then I'll do some mix a little bit of silver, colloidal silver, in with some distilled water. Do that. I love to nebulize iodine as well. Just 1 drop of the detoxidine, the iodine, in the little container, the nebulizing container, with some distilled water. You can nebulize iodine down into your lungs and up into your sinuses. That's also amazing. You can also do hydrogen peroxide, 1 drop of 3% food grade hydrogen peroxide. Make sure it doesn't have a bunch of contaminants in it, obviously, that you're going to get from the store. Put 1 drop of that in your nebulizer and fill it up with distilled water as well. So nebulizing is great because it's hard to get things into your deep into your sinuses that are in a vapor form, that go way up in there. So that's amazing. And number 12 I just wanted to cover the aging and evolving urine because that's storing it and solar charging it. So you can collect your urine any time of the day, or if you have any leftover, you can put it in a big mason jar. You know, that's what I do. I put it in a big mason jar. I have these big mason jars and I have these smaller mason jars. So the big mason jar is just whatever's left over. Put it in there. Whenever it's full, might take 2 or 3 days to fill it up, but whenever it's full, you can put a piece of cheesecloth over the top with a rubber band, or a piece of 100% organic wool, or cut a piece out of an organic t-shirt and put that over it, put a rubber band around it, and just put it in your window where the sun can hit it and the moon can hit it. You know, if the sun hits it for maybe an hour a day or 30 minutes a day, that's great. You know, it's called solar charging, and keep it in the windowsill for 9 days. And that will be the minimum amount of time. Now, like I said, you can keep it there forever. You can keep it there for 9 months, 9 years. I mean, people will it will continue to evolve and evolve and evolve. Now, you could use that topically as well. You can use some of that strengthened urine for your bath, for your massage. Some people even drink it. So that you can use for usually more of the hardcore type skin conditions. That's going to be your aged or evolved urine. All right, so how to begin your journey. There's one other thing I'll touch on, and that's urine injections, but that's you're going to need to find a urotherapy practitioner for. So I didn't cover it in today's topic, but there's many other uses as well. How to begin. Just start small. I mean, just ease into it. You can do 1 drop a day. You can start massaging it on topically if you're not ready for the internal use yet. But do your own research. This is one of the most important things that I like to try to teach people, is just like to become your own doctor. You need to do your own research. I put together a whole class at the globalhealinginstitute.org. You can go over there, take the class on urotherapy. You can continue watching these videos. You can reach out to us and we'll answer any questions you might have. It's just one more thing that you can add to your journey to health. Probably the most powerful thing that you'll ever had. I honestly can't think of anything more powerful that I've ever come across in my 25 years. Because what could be more powerful than something that God makes for you every single night when you sleep and during the day that comes out? I mean, it literally is your own perfect medicine. And that book, actually, Your Own Perfect Medicine by Martha Christie, was a book written specifically to give you scientific evidence. I'm not a fan of science. I mean, yes, to a certain degree I am, but I think science has messed a lot of things up over the years. I'm more nature, the things that God has given us to heal, the things that we have that we produce naturally. Eating, detoxifying regularly, eating a clean diet, supplementing. Yes, you can do your supplements still at the same time you're doing this. You could do everything that you're doing right now while you're doing urotherapy. I just really love to hear about people that take responsibility for their own health. They feel like they can live their best life ever. And that's what it's all about. That's what life is all about. Life is all about us becoming enlightened beings. How do you become enlightened beings? You avoid practically everything out there that the government and that people are telling you to do that take away your enlightenment. So I would love for you to become a member of the Institute. If you do, you get direct access to me in private Telegram channels where I can actually say stuff without being censored. You get to be part of the live Q&As. You get to be part of the events, the interviews that I do. You get early invites to the summits that I'm going to be in. You get discounts. You get giveaways. This is a community for truth seekers. Now, I wish I didn't have to have an institute for this, actually. I wish this could just be public, but we live in a world right now where we're limited on what we can say, what we can teach, what we can do, what we can share. And that's really sad. You know, I think that we'll come out of that. But right now, if you go to globalhealinginstitute.org/UT, there's an incredible free video there that I did with David Wolf, who's a great friend of mine. He's been teaching this, you know, how to regenerate, how to detox, how to heal yourself for just as long as I have, over 25 years. There's a great free video there that you can access. So just spend some time doing research. That's all I'm asking. And just, I'm here to try to give you the solutions that can change your life forever. Also, we have a website called urotherapyresearch.com. We're continually adding things, frequently asked questions, information, all the documents that people are sending us now on this, success stories, how this has changed people's lives. We're going to continue updating that as well. So if you have any information, if you want to share anything with us, anything we didn't cover, if you have any additional questions, please reach out to us and we will be happy to share more information with you, because we want to empower you to become your own healer. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm Dr. Group, and I wish you the best and healthiest and happiest life ever. Thank you.